Well, here we go. We are entering the final turn into the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. We only have 3 more weeks of Kentucky Derby prep races to go. And next stop is the Arkansas Derby, a 1 1/8 miles distance at Oaklawn Park. The winner gets 100 points, and that means they are guaranteed an entry into the starting gate for Kentucky Derby 151. Are you ready to find your winner? Facts and figures are going to give you the winning edge. I give you the stats, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra. And these are the weeks we've been waiting for, the 100-point races. They can change the leaderboard dramatically. And if you missed my recap of all the prep races less than 100 points and my initial top 10 horses going into the Kentucky Derby, check out this link above me. But don't do it yet. We're about to go through the 9 horses of the Arkansas Derby to help you find your winner. I'm going to give you all the pros, the cons, the stats, everything that you need to know. Don't have a lot of time and need to multitask? That's okay. I'm on YouTube Music as a podcast. Find this video. Or you just want to learn about Coal Battle or the new Bob Baffert horse, Cornucopian? There are timestamps below. Now let's get started with some angles. So I analyzed the last 15 runnings of this race and I found some really interesting stats and angles we want to pay attention to. You know how there's always that race that's been won on or near the lead? Well, not so much this race. 7 out of the last 15 winners were on or near the lead, but 4 were mid-pack and 4 were closers. So you really just have to evaluate the field. And in this field, there doesn't appear to be a lot of pace. So I would upgrade those horses on or near the lead. Now, this is a really interesting stat you want to pay attention to. Out of the past 15 winners, 14 were in at least one graded stakes race. And you want to upgrade if that graded stakes race was a Derby prep. 13 out of the 15. Oh, and upgrade even further if it's the Rebel, 7 out of the 15. And the final angle is Bob Baffert's magic. He has been in this race 12 times in the last 15 years and won 5 times. So I don't want to get ahead of myself here because we're about to go through all 9 horses. But let's look really quickly at number 9, Cornucopian, the 7-5 favorite. He's a Bob Baffert horse. Does that mean he has a lock? Well, guess what? He's never been in a graded stakes race. Never been in a Derby prep race. What do I think about that with the angles? Who has the one horse out of the 15 runnings that never was in a graded stakes race and came and won the Arkansas Derby? Bob Baffert with Charlatan in 2020. Let's get started with the number 1 horse, Brereton's Baytown. Now this horse has a lot of experience with 10 starts, but he only has 2 wins and no places and no shows. And both of those wins came on a wet track. He won a 6.5 furlong race at Charlestown, and he won a 1 1/16 race at Laurel, but it was a $40,000 claiming race. He was entered into the Rebel here at Oaklawn Park, but he lacked speed, and he finished 8th. So, unfortunately, this horse is not one that I will be favoring on Saturday. He's lacking class, he's lacking speed, and he only seems to do well when there's a wet track. The number 2 horse is First Division. He's trained by Kenny McPeek, and he'll be ridden by Brian Hernandez Jr., and this is your 2024 Kentucky Derby winning team. Now, this horse has had 3 starts, 1 win, 1 place, and 1 show, and all 3 starts were here at Oaklawn Park. He didn't begin his career until he was a 3-year-old. In January, in a $68,000 maiden race going 6 furlongs, it looked like he was out of it, but he came with the late surge, and he won that race. Then he goes into a $130,000 allowance race, a 1.16 miles distance. Again, has a late surge. You're seeing a pattern. He comes in 3rd behind Authentic Gallop. Now, Authentic Gallop was just in the Virginia Derby and he finished last, so I'm really not sure of the form of that race. But then he goes into another $130,000 allowance race, a 1.16 miles. Again, late surge, finishes 2nd behind the number 4 horse in this race, Bestfriend Rocket. The buyers have been a click below. Average buyer around 81 or 82, so he will need to improve in order to compete with the likes of Coal Battle and Speed King and Cornucopian. Also, no Derby prep, no graded stakes entry. That to me will be a big red flag against this horse. And expect him to come flying late. I just don't know if he's going to get the speed and the pace to run into. But can he get the distance? He's by Omaha Beach, and Omaha Beach won this race in 2019, but on a sloppy track. The number 3 horse is Publisher. Trained by Steve Asmussen, he'll be ridden by Flavien Prat. And guess what? This horse has yet to win a race. I mean, that's a big ask, putting him in the Arkansas Derby against some of the best horses we've seen on the Kentucky Derby Trail, and he has yet to win a race. But this horse has a lot of talent. 6 starts, 1 place, 3 shows. He has been oh so close. His place finish was here at Oaklawn Park in a $110,000 main race. He was against American Promise. He kind of tucked in behind American Promise and then tried to make his move, but he couldn't get around American Promise. And American Promise just won the Virginia Derby, setting a track record. So that second place finish was none too shabby. Oh, and by the way, he earned a 92 buyer, which puts him in the mix with some of the strong contenders in this field. However, it was on a muddy track. In the G3 Southwest, he bobbled at the start. He was forced into the rail by American Promise, and because of that, American Promise was disqualified, and Publisher came in 6th, behind Speed King, Sandman, and Tistastic. Now, these are quality horses. Speed King is in this race. Sandman is in this race, and Tistastic just won the Louisiana Derby. Then his best race may have been his 4th place finish in the Rebel, a mile and a 16th here at Oaklawn Park. In that race, there was a lot of traffic, 13 horses. He was 10th, he was 11th, but he has a rally and finishes 4th. Can he get the extra distance? He's by American Pharoah. And even though American Pharoah won the Triple Crown, many of his progeny outside of the fillies, they have not won at the mile and an eighth distance. Steve Asmussen is putting blinkers on him, and that may help him focus. Having an equipment change like that could make all the difference in the world. But Steve Asmussen doesn't have really good stats with first-time blinkers. So take all of that into consideration. This is a talented horse who has hit the board many times. Before we go on, if you've been finding the information useful, hit like, hit subscribe. The number 4 horse in the Arkansas Derby is Bestfriend Rocket. And this horse is new to the Kentucky Derby Trail. But I want to point out, no graded stakes entry, no Kentucky Derby prep race. Stats you want to pay attention to. He's trained by Hall of Famer Dwayne Lucas. 6 starts, 3 wins, 1 show. He broke his maiden at Laurel in a mile and a 16th, $47,000 main race. And there he drew away and wins by 8 lengths. He then goes to a $49,000 allowance race at Laurel, going a mile and a 16th on a muddy track. He set a blazing hot pace, but unfortunately he weakens and comes in 3rd behind Omaha, who is also on the Kentucky Derby Trail. Rinse and repeat, another $49,000 allowance race at Laurel, going a mile and a 16th, sloppy track. But here he just is driving, and he wins by 5 lengths. He then transfers from Brittany Russell's barn to the Dwayne Lucas barn and ends up here at Oaklawn in a $130,000 allowance race, going a mile and a 16th. Very gutsy race. He wins. He does have some distance influence. He's by Curlin, and Curlin won at the longer distances, and his top progeny was Vino Rosso, who won at the mile and an eighth. But his speed ratings? Yeah, mid-pack, 81, 82 buyer. He will need to see some improvement to compete with the other horses. And I also want to point out again, no graded stakes entry, no Derby prep entry. The number 5 horse is Speed King, and Speed King lives up to his name. He's trained by Ron Moquett and will be ridden by Rafael Bejarano. And Bejarano has been on him his last 3 times. Now, when this horse can get to the lead, he wins. 4 starts, 2 wins, 1 place. His first start was in a $120,000 race going 6 furlongs at Churchill Downs. He was bumped at the start. He recovers quickly. He gets right to the lead, and he wins by 2 lengths, even though he stayed on his left lead. Then he goes to the Remington Springboard Mile, and that was a gritty race with Coal Battle. They were battling out it in the end, and he tried to dig in, and he only loses by a half a length to Coal Battle. His statement victory comes in the Southwest Stakes, one of the best Kentucky Derby prep races we've seen. He goes gate to wire over Sandman, over Tistastic, and he earned a 93 buyer in that race. Then he goes to the Rebel, a mile and a 16th here at Oaklawn Park. He's in post position 11. He comes out of the gate. He doesn't make it to the lead. Uh-oh, what happened? He's going around the turn wide and he just can't get over. And then he gets smushed between horses. That's my technical term, smushed. And he just regresses and finishes 10th with a 67 buyer. Now we know this horse does his best job on the lead. The question is he going to get the lead? He's got a better post position, but he's going to have to battle it out with the number 9 horse, Cornucopian. So get to the lead, go with Speed King. And he's got some super fast workouts leading up to the race. Next question, can he get the distance? He's by Volatile. Volatile only ran at 6 furlongs. Not much distance influence, but his Damn Athenian Beauty is by Corinthian, and Corinthian did win at the longer distances. So will Speed King go gate to wire and win the Arkansas Derby. The number 6 horse is Sandman, and I keep saying this in every analysis, don't sleep on Sandman. This is a $1.2 million purchase by Tappet, and we know Tappets can get the distance. They just need a little extra time to mature. 7 starts, 2 wins, 1 place, 2 shows. He's been on the board 5 times. That's consistency. Trained by Mark Casse, he'll be ridden by Jose Ortiz, and together they have a 21% win rate. If you've heard me talk about Sandman before, you know I always say his superpower is his late speed. But he's also got proven class, 4 graded stakes entries, although both of his wins were in non-graded stakes races. This horse also knows Oaklawn. His last 3 races have come here at Oaklawn. He's in the G3 Iroquois in September, a Kentucky Derby prep race. There he breaks a bit slow and finishes 5th. Then he goes to the G3 Street Sense, another Kentucky Derby prep race at Churchill Downs. Again, breaks a bit slow, but has this amazing rally and finishes 3rd. Then he goes into the race that I want everybody to watch, one of the strongest Kentucky Derby prep races, the Southwest. There, he stumbled horribly at the start. I mean, he was just out of it. There was no way this horse was going to hit the board. He was way, way, way in the back. But then, all of a sudden, there he is. Monster rally. Finishes 2nd behind Speed King and earns a 92 buyer, and that puts him in the mix with the contenders of this race. Then goes to the Rebel, a mile and a 16th here at Oaklawn. The break was better. He was unharried. He goes, swings to the outside and tries to have another rally, takes off, and comes in 3rd behind Coal Battle and Madacat Road. This horse has the speed, the heart, the tenacity, the breeding. In my opinion, don't sleep on Sandman. The number 7 horse is Monet's Magic, trained by Ben Colebrook. He'll be ridden by Luan Machado, and this is a good magic colt with 7 starts, 2 wins, and 1 show. He won both of his races leading up to the G3 Southwest Stakes. In November at Churchill Downs, Monet's Magic was a 24-1 long shot, and he dueled the favorite Kalahari Dreams to get the win. He had to go wide, 4 deep, dueled, and got the win. And you know who else Monet's Magic beat in that race? Burnham Square, who went on to win the Fountain of Youth, and American Promise, who went on to win the Virginia Derby and set a track record. That's none too shabby. In December, he's entered into an allowance race here at Oaklawn. And in that race, very unhurried. But when he came around the turn, he ran for it and got the win. Then he goes to the G3 Southwest, a very strong prep race here at Oaklawn Park. And there he breaks really well. He's towards the lead. He was tracking 2nd for some time in that race. He tried to make a run in the stretch, but unfortunately he finishes 5th with an 84 buyer. Now this horse will need to improve significantly to challenge some of the leaders here, but I want you to look at his breeding. He's by Good Magic. Good Magic gave us Mage, who won the Kentucky Derby. Good Magic gave us Dornick, who won the Belmont. There is a lot of distance, and just given what we've seen so far and his distance stability, In my opinion, this is a horse that I would like to have underneath in vertical. And I'm going to give Coal Battle a motto, and that's hold my beer. This horse can do it all. Can't win a Derby prep race? Hold my beer. Can't win on the lead? Hold my beer. Can't win against Bob Baffert in Arkansas? Hold my beer. This horse just keeps winning and winning and winning. Back to back to back races. He won the John Lafitte. He won the Remington Springboard Mile. The Smarty Jones. Oh, and he won the Rebel against Madacat Road. And his trainer is one you just want to root for. Lonnie Briley, 72 years young, never thought he would have a Derby horse. Only had a couple graded stakes entries. This is what the Kentucky Derby dreams are made of. Let's talk about his races. In the Remington Springboard Mile, he took it to Speed King. In that race, he was really patient. And when he made his move, he battled Speed King, and he won by a half a length in a 12-horse field. Then he goes to the Smarty Jones. He gets on the lead. That's not where he's supposed to be, but he takes the lead and goes gate to wire and wins by 4 lengths. Then he goes to the Rebel, a mile and a 16th here at Oaklawn Park. There was a lead pack that went out right from the gate, and that was Speed King, Madacat Road, Innovator, and Smokin' Wicked. And they set a Smokin' Wicked pace. But Coal Battle was very patient and waited to go around the turn. And if you watch that race, he just comes surging around the turn. It's like, who's that horse? And then he takes the battle to Madacat Road, puts Madacat Road away, and wins with a 91 buyer. Now, this horse has a ton of heart. With the heart and the tenacity and the story of this horse, I just want him to say, hold my beer, let me win 2 more times here in the Arkansas Derby and the Kentucky Derby. And finally, we have the number 9 horse, Cornucopian. Trained by Bob Baffert, he'll be ridden by Johnny Velasquez. And we talked about the Bob Baffert magic. In the past 15 years, he's had 12 entries and won 5 times. But this horse has only been in 1 race. Count it, 1 race. A 6-furlong maiden race here at Oaklawn on Rebel Day. But in that race, he put on a show. He dominated that race, gate to wire, and got 101 buyer, the top buyer we see out of all of these contenders. And he's by Into Mischief. He's a $1.1 million purchase by Into Mischief. And some of the top horses on the Kentucky Derby Trail are by Into Mischief. He's also a half-sibling to Guarana. So we know he's got the speed, check. He's got Bob Baffert, check. We know he could go the distance based on his pedigree, or at least we think so, check. What's not to check? Oh, no graded stakes entry? No Derby prep race? We know Bob Baffert did that once before, but can he do it again with Cornucopian? Can Cornucopian go against the battle-tested like Sandman and Coal Battle and Speed King? Is he going to be worth the very low odds we're going to see on him? That's the question you're going to have to ask yourself. Now it's your turn. Who do you like in the Arkansas Derby? Drop me a comment below. Also, if you found the information useful, hit like, hit subscribe. Never miss out on the rest of my Kentucky Derby coverage. There is so much more to come. I hope you all find your winners on Saturday, but most of all, sashay away with your Monet. Until next time, cheers.